Most of us grab our pressure cooker, blender, microwave in an attempt to combine our new families. The truth is, what we really need is a slow cooker. Hello everyone, I'm Alexia and welcome to Wedding Dreams. A step family requires that you literally step into your relationship with determination and patience. Get this, the rate of divorce for remarriages with existing children is higher than for first marriages. Step relationships certainly add to the complexity of keeping a relationship together, with the average step family taking up to 7 years to combine. It goes to say, there are no quick recipes for this to come out perfect. But don't take it from me. Today we chat with Dr. Kai Morgan, clinical psychologist and president of the Jamaica Psychological Society. Hello Wedding Dreamers. Today we'll be talking about step parenting, and to help us with this talk we have Dr. Kai Morgan. Welcome.
Thank you.
And a lot of us know the story of Cinderella. Do you see this to be true or a fairy tale? Do you see a lot of this?
The idea of a wicked stepmom, of course, exists, yes. So it's there, but there are different variations. It may not be exactly obviously like we see in Cinderella. That was a bit extreme, but it was a bit harsh. But there are different dynamics that take place where people feel like they are the wicked stepmother because of what is happening, yeah, with the dynamics with the children, with the father, and so on.
So last week Beanie was on the show and he said, if the kids don't like you, you have to go. Is this a recipe for disaster?
That's a very harsh statement, or a very cut and dried statement,
Yes.
let me say it like that, because you can have the dynamic where the children initially may not like the person, but then they grow to like the person because of different things that happen.
Yes.
So it can change.
And in some cases, the children may create scenarios to create conflict.
Right, because of what they're experiencing themselves, and they don't know how to manage it better. So sometimes they become difficult, you know, and it's just really a response to their feelings of fear, maybe insecurity, all of that. So I think before we go there, I think we have to look at some of these issues. What are their fears? What's going on with them? Why are they behaving like this? Before we say, okay, if you don't like the person, you're gone.
If you have children, how long should you wait before you remarry?
That's a tough one. That's really a tough one. I don't have any set time period to tell you, but I can tell you about the process, you know, meaning I think that certain things that you should look for, you know, you should do. You should have conversations with the children, you know, the non-step parent, you know, having conversations with the children, with the step parent as well, so that you can kind of begin to grow as a family, take it gradually, you know, so that when you reach the point now when you feel like, okay, we're gonna get married now, that they feel comfortable. It's just the next step for them, you know. So that is very important. How does the quote unquote outside parent, the parent outside the home feel? That should be brought into the conversation, you know. How is this going to be handled? That person should be included as well, you know, because this person is also important to the children, even if you have separated from that person.
Yes. What if, as the step parent, the parent coming into the relationship, what if you're putting so much energy into getting it to work and you're still not, the kids just don't like you? What do you do then?
Sometimes you have to take a step back. Sometimes you have to just say, you know what, I'm trying too hard. I want this to happen too quickly, maybe, you know, and so maybe I need to just kind of take a step back, and maybe in doing that, that will give them a little bit more room. That doesn't mean,
you can't step too far.
that's what I was just going to say. That's what I was just going to say. Not so far, you know, that you're permissive, that you allow anything to happen, but certainly far enough to say, okay, let me give them some room to breathe a little bit, let them them have a little bit more of the biological parent, and maybe that's part of what's going on with them. Let me see. Once you can understand what's going on with them, then you can kind of determine what your actions are going to be.
How do you handle children with the fantasy that mommy and daddy are going to get back together?
That's also a tough one, right? Because I think the younger the children are, is when they least are able to understand, you know, because we don't explain too much to them.
No.
You know, they just have this understanding, you know, it's not working out, or mom and daddy are not happy, and they get these little lines. So they don't quite understand. So all they want to know and all they feel is that they want mommy and daddy to be together. I guess as they get older, they begin to understand more, but giving them that kind of room, showing solidarity.
And getting both parents or all parents on board would be the most important thing, because at the end of the day, all that really matters is what's happening with the child and the child's well-being.
Absolutely.
Is this new family dynamic easier for younger children or teenagers? Have you seen much of a difference?
Yeah, there is a difference, because I think with the young children, as we mentioned before, they have limited understanding of what's really going on.
Yeah.
So that kind of inhibits them a little bit from really being able to express themselves and, you know, and really understand what's going on.
Yeah.
However, with the teenagers, as we all know, teenage adolescence can be quite tumultuous. So during that time, you're not only dealing with all the stuff, the pubertal stuff, the this, the that, you know, all the things going on with you, but then you have to deal with this new relationship that's coming into your life. And then also, as a teenager, you have been in a mold, right, for a while, in terms of habits, in terms of how your parents deal with you, etc. This new person coming into the picture comes with his or her own personality, their own dynamics, etc., that you now have to adjust to, which may mean it affects how the household is run,
Yes.
how the discipline, how they're disciplined, things like that. So those kinds of changes are more difficult for a teenager to deal with, and he or she's more likely to be rebellious, more likely to kind of be defiant.
Yes.
when those situations occur.
So how do you communicate to the biological parent in the relationship that your child is being rude? How do you do this without offending them?
Right. Well, you should really have that kind of open communication where you're able to say to them, you know, listen to this, you know, the child said this, etc., etc. And then you and the person can have that conversation about, okay, you know what, yeah, that was rude, right?
Yes,
and
but
however,
sometimes it sounds easy when you say it, but sometimes the parent can get offended because they feel like they failed in raising their child.
And maybe that is also the getting to the root of the problem would be the objective of that conversation. So how that person, how that step parent approaches the biological parent is going to be important too. So do you come like, you know, you look a rude picnic and start talking like that, then it's not gonna come off very nice. But you know, you say, you know, I really think that John is having difficulty adjusting to me being here. Listen to what happened.
Yes.
You know, I know it sounds rude, but at the same time, you know, I know this may be a reflection of how he's feeling about me being here.
Yes.
So let's talk about that and let's you know, instead of then coming across like this child is just
Horrible.
born rude and is you make him rude and is, you know, and is this and that. So how you come across, how you approach your partner is going to be important about the issues. This person is just supporting your role and not trying to replace you. They cannot.
When we return, tips on blending your parenting styles.